most people say you should enjoy, the wins, but look, I'm a guy that is built on high standards, and my expectation level is never going to change. That just wasn't good enough. We let stuff bother us. Emotionally, we became disengaged. We were immature. We played good enough defensively at times, and then we make some stupid plays and allow them to shoot a three, to keep them in the game. We just have to play better than that. As simple as that.
You said defensively, that was where that immaturity came out, or?
Well, I think both ways. I mean, we had trouble with the zone again, so we got to spend more time on that. We haven't consistently shot the ball from the three line in about 3 months. We have to do better. But again, when your head's not clear, you don't make shots. So I think a lot of it is just immaturity, worrying about the wrong things, caring about winning. Again, I'm always going to tell it like it is, the way I see it. This team is not as mature of people as the team we had last year. So whatever that is, whether I got to draw the hard line, we're just not consistent. Like, we could use Mike Hughes as an example. He was sick, so we go 18, 20, 20 with him, and then tonight he can't do anything, right? Because he's not feel great. But like at some point, like we got to know what we're going to get from each person, and a lot of it, in my mind, is just emotional issues. Simple as that. So like we'll win some, but we won't win at the level we want to win at. So you can't be emotionally engaged at Davidson and then be, I would call it ouchy against Fordham. Until we get over that ouchiness, look, I'm a guy who let 18 balls hit me in 1 year to play. Look, so I'm not going to accept emotional ouchiness when I'm letting balls hit me just so I can play. Like I think sometimes now people don't want to fight for what they get. We got to learn how to fight. That's our biggest problem, is we have to fight better.
The way that you guys closed on Saturday, how maybe more refined or concise was the performance down the stretch tonight versus then?
I don't know. We guarded the line a little bit, made a couple plays. Eric Williams made some good plays. But it wasn't championship quality preciseness. Simple as that. So until we get championship quality preciseness, I'm not going to be happy. Look, I'm not lowering my expectations, period. Right? I'm not. So something's got to give. Right? I'm not lowering it. I'm not used to not playing at championship quality. So it's my job to teach them, right? And they got to get on board.
Do you have the talent that you want, and it's just the mental side that you're looking for?
Well, ultimately, that is a talent.
Mm-hmm.
So do we have the talent? We got to play better than that. No disrespect to Fordham, they're unorthodox. They do some things that bother you, right? We played good enough defensively, but we're erratic. We got to play with some enthusiasm. I think that's my biggest gripe. They act like they're digging ditches sometimes. Man, let's have some enthusiasm and some pizzazz to us, right? Now look, it's a long season and every team goes through it, but over break we got to practice better. Until we practice better, we're not going to be as good as we should.
What did you make of the effort Amari had tonight? 11 points, 5 of 7, showed some spark at some points tonight.
He did some good things. He's inexperienced. I mean, we're force feeding him, but he's talented. He just has to understand, what high-level college basketball really is. When he plays against a top 20 team, he's got ability. He's got to relax, make free throws, make plays when it matters. You could see us kind of clutch up a little bit at that free throw line at the end, right? And even making some plays. Now, Frank didn't because he's just loose as a goose. But, we clutched up a little bit. And look, we lost the last game because we didn't make free throws, right? So we got a lot of stuff to improve on. We're capable. We've shown it. Like when we want to play, we can play. that's probably the thing that frustrates me the most is we're capable when things go well. We don't want to be known as front runners, right? We need to be able to fight through when things don't go well. It's commitment. It's commitment. It's commonplace nowadays, though. I don't want to sound like a 90-year-old, but commitment is a lost art, and we got to get better at commitment. I'm gonna work my tail off. Look, I'm not putting the white flag on. I don't care what happens. I'm gonna work to make this a championship quality team, and if I got to butt heads to do it or massage to do it, I'm gonna do whatever I got to do, right? And that means, look, we have to raise our level to this from here. Simple as that.
Have you had, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Have you had teams like this before that you can kind of draw from?
Not for a long time. I mean, 20-win teams don't usually, but this is the youngest group. In fairness to them, this is the youngest group that I've ever been around. But that is not an excuse, right? You can't use that as an excuse, right? We have to be better. We have to get along better. We have to play together better. We have to care more. Like I'm in the locker room, and again, I'm gonna tell you this because it's true. Like, they just won a game, and you wouldn't know whether they won or lost. That's not good. You still, no matter how badly it goes, you still, when you win, you should be happy. I guess I got to learn that as well. But you got to have some kind of emotion, right? I think that's something we have to really work on.
Do you have a guess as to like why that's missing necessarily? Just like maybe like you said, the different motive than you want.
Well, the only thing I can think of is learning to care about others. The more you give, the more you get. That's how I've lived my life, my whole career. The more you give, the more you get. The more committed you are to people, the more you get from them, right? The less committed, the less you should get, right? So if you think about yourself more than you do the group, then sometimes you're emotionless. That's kind of how I see it. But again, this is something I got to work through as the manager of the group. So ultimately, if they play with less emotion, then I have to be responsible for that. I'm in charge of the whole thing. If they don't win, it's on me. If they don't play hard, it's on me. If they don't have emotion, it's on me. So I'm gonna take total responsibility. I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to get them where I want to get them. I don't care whatever I have to do. Still won, but again, like I know what good is, and I know what good is, and I know what great is, and so I'm not being average. Good?
Good.
All right.